haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it.
Not many can talk their way into a Zhentarim outpost. I could use someone with your skills. Some of our people are missing. More importantly, so is their cargo. Find them. Keep them alive if you can. Failing that, just bring that shipment back.
I didn't think anyone would find us. We'll take the chest back to the hideout. I owe you a drink. Lots of drinks. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only.
More are coming.
What in the nine hells is that?
They're coming. They're coming.
The adamantine forge? If it had been found, the name would ring throughout the Underdark. We might have found the forge together. But no, they hoarded their knowledge, left each of us clinging to scraps. I had the good sense to lock mine away in the shard. And now I can claim the forge alone.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in. Into the dark. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cinderellimouse and we're back with Baldur's Gate 3. We've got the pink wig, which means that we've had a visit from the Dream Guardian. We'll get into discussing that in a moment. So really enjoying this game. As always, I hope you're enjoying my playthrough. Letting you know as well, I can get ads on my videos now, which is huge for me. I've earned a grand total of 96p, which is not a lot, but it's made me really excited. So if you are a viewer and you know you're a bit like, ooh, ads, if you want to skip them, that's fine. I have figured out how to kind of manually do it instead of like the AI just spamming my videos with ads every 5 minutes. Like, I've figured out how to manually do it, so you're going to see roughly one at the beginning of the video, one every hour. I don't want to kind of like make it annoying or intrusive, so just kind of letting you know what the deal is. So thank you for putting up with that. I hope you guys don't mind it too much. I'm excited. I think it's really super cool. So thank you everybody for your support, because you guys watching my videos make these things, and subscribing and liking, you make that happen for me. And I love being able to have the opportunity to earn money through doing things that I love to do. So yeah, jumping into it, I really want to continue doing this. I have updated to patch 7. I was actually putting it off. I wasn't going to update, and then the game did it automatically, and I was like, no because I use quite a few mods. They're all listed in the description box down below if you want to go and check that out. And as a mod creator for The Sims 4 myself and The Sims 3, I know how much of a hassle it can be for mod creators to have to jump through hoops and kind of like get those mods updated on time. And thank you if you are a mod creator watching this. I appreciate you. I know the pain. Like, you know, not all heroes wear capes. So yeah, I was like, right, I'm just going to give the mod creators a little bit of time to catch up and get their mods updated so that my game doesn't break. But I've managed to get it working in a semi-stable condition, so you might see a few little funny things. I'm noticing like little lines, like little kind of strange lines on everything, but I can't tell if it's my screen or the image. So if you, hopefully that's not too much of a bother for anyone. I've tried to get it looking as best as I can, and I've just reinstalled my camera mod, which I love because I've been playing it for a couple of days, like trying to get the mods right, and I've been stuck like this, and I like to zoom in and I like to get all those weird angles. So waiting for the camera mod to update has been a challenge, but that's updated now as well, so I can play again. Yay! Just same pose. Yeah, so thank you for listening to my waffling as well. Let's get into it. So we're in the Underdark right now. There are two paths to Moonrise Towers. Basically, there's the overground and the underground, and we're going to kind of womble free and see what both routes, where both routes take us. Basically, blah 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 blah. This ain't not no mangled grammar. So we're going to have Cordia's team mainly going through the Underdark because Cordia's a drow. This is her home. She feels quite safe and confident. Well, not safe in the Underdark. That's nobody feels safe in the Underdark, guys. But she's familiar with the dangers of the Underdark, and so she feels like she has some strategy, some ability to kind of survive that environment. We're also going to take Dirge and Lae'zel up overground because Lae'zel still wants to go and find the Githyanki Kresh and try and find a cure for the parasite to find this Zakith device. So Dirge is going to kind of go that way, and then it kind of like, you know, we'll see who gets there first sort of thing. But yeah, there's a lot to explore, and I don't want to miss out. The first time I did a playthrough, I missed the Githyanki Kresh completely. Like, I went through the Underdark, didn't realise the Githyanki Kresh was even there. So it's like a whole level I missed out on, which made it fun the next time I played because I got to like explore that, and it was all new and fresh and fun. But yeah, we're gonna try and do all the things on this Let's Play. I'm talking too much again, like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those videos, and we've got a lot to do today. I have plans, I have ideas. So having said that, I'm actually going to take Lae'zel with me for a specific reason, just this once. And the excuse that I'm going to do is that Dirge needs Astarion to go and kind of lockpick all those crates and to steal something or a couple of things from the Zentrum, which is very risky. So we kind of need our best person with sleight of hand for that. So Lae'zel is going to come along with Cordia and Shadowheart and Gale for this little section. And there's a little bit of housekeeping that I want to go through first because I've got a few ritual spells that really help out now. So Cordia has Longstrider now. Where is it? I can't even see it. There it is. And I've gone around already and I've put that on every single person except for Cordia herself. I just left her to kind of show you on camera. And that is amazing because that actually gives us an extra, if I can find the spell again, that's amazing because it gives us an extra 3 meters of movement speed, which just gives us that edge. If like we can't quite reach something on our turn, we've got that little bit extra movement. So really super duper useful. I've also got, I mean, I've permanently got See Invisibility because Volo gave me that fake eye, which I kind of love the vibe for her, I'm not gonna lie. And there's a few other things that she can do as well. So Longstrider doesn't even use a spell slot. I've got it as a ritual. So like I can just put it on everybody. It lasts the whole day. It's amazing. I've got things like Speak with Animals as well, which is a ritual. I can just do that and enable it. And then I've got that for the whole day. Perfect. I've also got Mage Armor, Eye of the Storm, encase yourself in a shimmering field of magic. Now this is cool because if you're not wearing armor, I'm not sure if she is or not, to be honest, because she can wear medium armor because she's got 1 level of cleric. Yeah, I don't think she's wearing armor. I don't know if like holding a shield counts, but basically Eye of the Storm is a modded version of Mage Armor. We can just put that on ourselves. And again, that is going to last the whole day, and it increases our base armor class, which technically increases our overall AC, but it doesn't look like, I don't know if that's necessarily working. It might be because I've got the shield. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, guys. But we'll give that to Gale as well. So let's hop over to Gale. So you can see his AC is 16. I do need to take this leather helmet off him because that is classed as medium armor. So AC is 16. And then if I use his mage armor, where is it? There it is. Beautiful. His AC, his armor class, so when the enemies try and hit you, they roll. So say they roll 15, with him having AC of 19, that means his shield works, he's protected. If they rolled a 20, he'd get hit. That's how it works. If you meet it, you beat it. And then, yeah, I don't know who I want to put his hat on, because who's not currently wearing a hat? Everybody's wearing a hat. I don't know if we need that hat then, necessarily. Okay, well, we'll just keep that in our pocket, and if somebody wants it, we can put it on someone later. I think I'd rather take the AC over that +1 to dexterity, to be fair, for Gale. We've also got a little bit of housekeeping with Lae'zel as well, because I always forget this, and you get it from the start of the game, but you can use Astral Knowledge to give yourself proficiency in everything under one of the abilities. So I like to choose Dexterity. It gives her proficiency in acrobatics, sleight of hand and stealth, and that's really useful for her, especially the sleight of hand, because it means that she can be my team 2 lockpicker. So if you're not taking Astarion out with you and you need someone to do the lockpicking, Lae'zel can be pretty good for that with that sleight of hand proficiency. And what else do I need to do? I need to check my notes. Gale's cat. How could I forget Gale's cat?
Choice.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, we've got Find Familiar. And we can grab his cat. It's not Tara, unfortunately, but it's kind of like a security blanket. Gale's cat, right? It reminds him of Tara, feels familiar. Like, Tara's a Tressim. I know she's not a cat, but you know, same vibes. They both have an attitude problem and we love them for it. We also have the Speak with the Dead spell on Dirge, and what I was planning on doing was dropping Quill from my inventory and using her to cast Speak with the Dead at the start of the day. But when I did this off camera as a little practice, Quill just disappeared. Her body just went poof, and we need to take her all the way to Act 3 to Baldur's Gate to take, you know, to fulfill that desire for her even in death, like to honor her and you know, the fallen soldier that she is. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just keep her in Dirge's inventory basically, because if I drop her on the ground, she's gonna go and that whole quest is ruined. So yeah, Speak with the Dead. When we find someone we can cast that on, we'll do it. Now,
how many die today?
There's a few kind of things that I'm doing here that are purely vanity reasons. Cordia has this really cool armor, and honestly, I love the color. I love that kind of like black silver color that she has going on with that. But she looks very grey because she's got kind of grey skin. It's very grey and black and silver, so I don't know. She looks very washed out. I think I'm gonna go with her classic blue on that. Let's change it. We can always take it off again if we decide. But there we go. The light blue is her colour, so let's do that. I also want to dye her gloves and boots to match. I haven't quite got enough out. I need to go to my barrel of dyes. Look at my inventory sortage, guys. Listen, Minecraft taught me well. And find the light blue dye. There we go. And we can just dye her boots as well. And then she's kind of all nice and matching and colour coordinated, and we love that for her. I also have this hood, this frayed drow hood, which I'd like to give to Astarion. Now, she could wear it, but if you watch her intelligence drop, I kind of need that headband. I think it looks really cool on her, actually. I think just drow mummy vibes. But we need that headband of intellect to pass those checks. And I think the little dexterity saving throw hood is going to be great for Astarion. So let's send that over to him. I love the way it looks on him. Let's pop that on him. Instead of the hat of cunning, right? There we go, we'll hide it during dialogues. I do like it when he's feeling fancy because he is a little bit barred, but I think that while we're kind of like going through the Underdark and doing this whole phase, I feel like the drow vibes really suit him. That kind of like drow assassin look, you know, and it also disguises him. It helps him to kind of like, you know, people won't pick up on on the fact that he's a vampire if they think he's a drow. So yeah, and it explains like the red eyes and everything. So I kind of love that as a disguise. Now I do actually want a different dye for him because I want all his armor to match, but I do have something in mind for that if we just kind of hold on. So yeah, that is what we've got. He's turned his back on me. He's like, how dare you not make my armor match? Let's just put him in his camp clothes for a second while we talk to him. Also Shadowheart. Now Shadowheart has her plat back. I'm gonna say Cordia kind of assisted her with it. I really wanted to have her, like, Shadowheart, you know, because she's so excited to go to the Underdark and look for these Dark Justiciars. It's her dream to be a Dark Justiciar. Like, she wants to look her best, just in case she runs into some other Sharans down there. You know, she can really, like, dress to impress them. And so I've given her kind of, like, classic ponytail. It is a modded hairstyle. I like this fringe a little bit better than that kind of, like, goth fringe that she normally has. But yeah, just kind of showing you that I've done that too. Okay, I think that is all my housekeeping. And now we get to have a chat with a few people people. Oh, the only other thing that I need to show you guys, because obviously it's very drow themed being down here. It's very lolthy. We did run into those other drow that were kind of like, we're looking for something. We're looking for the ancient forge. And we got the memory shard off him. Dawn is called Dawn. So yeah, I forgot to have a look at this, but we can have a quick look at it now.
The crystal shines only faintly. A memory shard, the wizard had called it.
Okay, so we did actually get the passphrase off Dawn, so we don't need to do the Arcana kind of check roll. We can bypass that. We're just going to go ahead and speak the passphrase. I can't remember what it was.
The crystal's glow swells, drawing you into its depths. You are transported somewhere deep, loud, and hot as the hells themselves. Within the Underdark's bowels, beyond an ancient stronghold, hovers a giant hammer, waiting to fall. An echoing clang, and you're back to yourself, left only with a firm sense of a place, a grand forge.
So if I was a Lolthsworn drow, I would be like, oh, we need to find that forge. I need to find it for my drow house, right? My family, because, you know, that's going to give us a lot of power. You know, Lolth is going to be really happy with me if I do that. Cordia, being a Sildurin drow, is going to be like, I need to stop other people finding that. I need to find that so that we can, you know, like, stop the bad guys getting to it, basically. I wonder if that's what the drow were doing, who were trying to, like, you know, in the Sildurin, no, they weren't drow, were they? The drow were attacking the Sildurin outpost, and the people in the Sildurin outpost in the Underdark were trying to, like, dig through somewhere to tunnel to something. So maybe that's something to do with that. We've also got one piece of the Icy Helve. We need to find 3 pieces of this, so we need to be on the lookout for those. But yeah, last night, Cordia had a visit from her dream guardian, who she identifies as a Listery. Now, when she's woke up and she's thought about it, she's kind of thinking she's not 100% sure if it is a Listery, you know, because why would she say that she's infected by a tadpole? She's like, I'm an adventurer just like you, but, you know, she's a goddess. And, like, I don't know, like, why... She's got some questions that need answering. There's a few things that don't quite add up. So, you know, the idea of, like, I think she even says something about how the tadpoles can manipulate you and make you think you're seeing gods, like, and so now she's like, why would she say that if she's a god? Is it like a double bluff? So she is feeling it, like, I think, like, in the depths of her soul, in the depths of her consciousness, she feels a little bit unsure and untrusting of it. But consciously, because she's a cleric, because she's been trained as a priestess, she's like, don't question it. Do as your goddess tells you. And so if the goddess is telling her, excuse me, I feel like I'm all forehead today, guys. If her goddess is telling her to go to Moonrise Towers, to infiltrate the See You Later Toby, and to use the tadpoles that she's given to kind of access more power, if her goddess is telling her to do that, she's going to do that. But let's go and see what some of the others think. So I kind of want to say, I don't know where I am, I'm all turned around. I think I want to go and see what Shadowheart thinks first, because, you know, she's very close with Shadowheart. They've had like a similar upbringing.
I had another dream. Which, I suppose, means you did as well. Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap.
So Shadowheart's kind of voiced Cordia's fears. Like, I feel like, you know, you, me, same brain tadpole. So yeah, I think that's, again, helps with, like, their relationship, and, like, to find someone that you can confide in, and to have someone who's sharing the same, another cleric who's sharing those same doubts, I think is very reassuring to Cordia. So we don't have anything to say about the tadpole itself, but I think she would ask, do you still have the artifact? It's like, that would be something that she would say. The artifact seems to be protecting us somehow. Do you still have it?
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. and I'll guard it with my life.
Good. I'm not going to question her. We're not pushing her on it. So she did steal it from the Githyanki. We know this. We don't want to kind of like beat a dead horse with that one, you know. So we're adventuring back into the Underdark. We might find Dark Justiciars. Tell me more about the Mother Superior. This is just going to be like a recap for you guys.
I'm not sure what else I can say, at least until I can remember more. She taught me, trained me, punished me. Often, I think I feel her influence when the wound pains me. Not even memories, just glimpses, impressions. Perhaps the wound is her doing, something Lady Shah bid her to do. I don't know.
So, again, like a similar upbringing. I think Cordia remembers it though, right? She was protected as a drow. She was highly protected as a child from some of the worst things that the drow go through because she's got the dragon scales. But still, you know, she still would have dealt with those same kind of people with the same kind of attitudes, the idea of like punishment. But she remembers she didn't have a memory stolen from her in the same way that Shadowheart did, which has left her feeling very confused and vulnerable, and like not knowing who did a wound. Like even like, you know, like some people snap an elastic band to kind of remind them of things. Like maybe it's even something she did to herself. I don't actually know how she got the wound, to be honest. You and I, we share something special, I think, and I want to talk about it.
Very serious of you. But go ahead.
How are you faring?
It's strange. I've been dwelling on what I told you before about wanting to become a Dark Justiciar. But perhaps I should be content with my lot. I'm already blessed to have you at my side, after all.
I do want you to explore your dreams, Shadowheart. And that is so sweet. I love her so much. Shadowheart is one of my main squeezers in this game. Yeah, okay, let's leave it there, I think. Oh, another thing as well, with patch 7, they've updated, there's new, like, camp idols, so I've seen people playing with Scratch in camp, which I love, and I think there's more dialogue as well. As I've been kind of, like, running around, they're saying things that I don't think I've heard before, so, yeah, I think they've added, like, a lot of, like, extra tidbits throughout the game, so I'm excited for that as well. Okay, Astarion, how are you faring?
I had another visit from that dream figure.
Me too.
I take it you did too.
Yes.
It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me.
I'm confused about what he was given as a gift. Was it like the tadpoles? I need to drink some water, guys. Sorry if you can see me rustling around down there. I normally cut it out when I'm drinking water, so editing really, have fun with that. Okay. So Astarion is leaning positively. He's like got good vibes about this Dream Guardian, and as does Cordia. So she's going to say, to infiltrate the see you later, Toby, we must be discreet. The tadpole can help with that.
And if that fails, then there's always killing them quietly. Now, was there anything else?
Not right now. So yeah, like, it can help us. We've seen that before, the tadpole's power, where, you know, we've been talking to people and because we've got a tadpole and they recognise that fact, they don't attack us. So, you know, it could definitely come in useful. You know, we're already infected with it, so if we're infected with it already, why not use it? Let's say a quick hi to Halsin. Hi, Dirge.
You wish to speak?
This secret stronghold in the Underdark. You must know more. How do we find it? Where do we look?
Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found.
Okay. let's go up and chat with Will and Gale. Here's Will. I love the idea of Paladin Will. The thing is though, Paladin Will...
Pride of the gate.
Paladins are normally super strong and Will isn't very strong right now. So I don't know if I'm going to end up respecing him or something. We'll see if we can figure something out. But yeah, I love him. He's strong of soul, Will, I feel. He might not be physically strong, but he's strong in faith. And not by faith like a cleric, but faith in, like, I don't know, his tenets, right? To kind of, like, do good and help people. He's strong in who he is, I think. But even that's not true because, you know, being a warlock, that's kind of like was stripped from him. His identity was stripped from him. So, yeah, I don't know.
I had another dream last night. The visitor came to me and ordered me to penetrate the heart of the very cult that's spreading the infection. It gave me a tadpole gift too, just like it did the first time it appeared. I suppose it hoped this would help. At first, I thought we should avoid these gifts no matter what advantage we gain. And yet, I can't help recall the words of my father. The best plan is the one that works. These powers could be enough to edge us towards victory.
Such a daddy's boy. Like, I love that. Like, even though him and his father have kind of like fallen out, we don't know a huge amount about that yet, but there seems to be some tension there. Like, you know, he's still kind of quoting all these things his dad used to say, all the old nursery rhymes he was told and things like that. He's so sweet. We need the powers to infiltrate the cult. This is the plan that works.
Very well. If it's mind games these parasites wish to play, we'll play. And we'll win.
I believe so, if we put our worms together. In jokes. Okay, like, cool. And then my... First in my heart, Gale. I say that about everybody though. Like, Shadowheart's first in my heart. Gale's... All the characters are first in my heart in this game.
I've been dreaming of our enigmatic visitor again. She told me our purpose was to take on this cult of the Absolute, to infiltrate its ranks and bring it down from the inside. She even offered me greater powers, the result of some manipulation of the tadpole's psionic abilities. Given the magnitude of what we're up against, I see no harm in considering the benefit this offer might afford us. Could be the only way to reach this source in one piece.
You're very intelligent, Gale. I was thinking the exact same thing. You're right, we must use every means at our disposal, even unsavory ones. Like the idea of like the goddess knowing the bigger picture, you know, seeing that kind of like the greater good, you know, I think she would have faith in that.
As existential evils go, the Absolute certainly seems an adversary worth holding in its tracks. Any opportunities for us to indulge our tadpole's capabilities are hardly on the same scale. Trifles, when one considers the bigger picture.
Indeed. So again, Gale has his own problems to worry about. He's got a piece of the weave inside, well, no, the Netherese magic inside him, right? Like, being reminded of that in this moment, Cordia would say, if you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking you, what will you do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Oh, Gale, you won't be alone. You'll have your conjured cat. No, I think she would be like, I won't let you be alone. I would come with you to the end. You know, that sort of thing. Like, oh, the idea of him being on his own, like knowing he's about to kind of like blow up. He's such a good person though, right? I was wondering about that mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So, I need some fanfic of Daddy Gale telling little boy Will, like, bedtime stories, because, like, you know, like, Will's there, like, my dad used to tell me all these stories, and then Gale's there, like, I feel like they could get along, you know. So at that moment in time, all magic was just gone?
For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
I like that, you know, you made that little pun and then kind of like side-eyed. Did you catch that? It's so funny.
For a spell.
Okay, so Gale wizard stuff. I think we're going to have a Gale wizard stuff episode, just heads up. So clearly Cordia wasn't the only one who had a visit from the Dream Guardian. I'm just looking at Lae'zel beating that thing up in the background. Dirge also did, but where Cordia is very pro Dream Guardian, Dirge is a little bit more skeptical. So let's jump in and see what Dirge thought about that visit.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. You haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places.
So he's not going to say this one about his butler because he doesn't trust his butler and where the dark urge is coming from. He'd demand answers. Tell me who you are.
It's complicated. But I'm an adventurer. Just like you. Just like you. I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. But to do that, we'll need to think beyond local healers. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun.
So he definitely wants to destroy the source of the tadpole's magic, but he knows that he's being protected by it. What is this sickness?
The absolute sames are not yet clear to me, but its progress towards domination is clear. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you.
Is this not part of the manipulation, though, to get me to do what they want? Are they what they're accusing other people of being? My mind tells me to do foul things. Are you sure your protection is working?
I protect you from becoming a mind flayer. I cannot protect you from yourself. But I know what it is like to be burdened by forces outside of your control. We are alike, you and I. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go.
What's going on over there?
The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
Okay, so Dirge is a lot more skeptical than Cordia is about the Dream Guardian. One, he's like, why is it wearing Cordia's face? Like, he doesn't like that, you know, maybe he's got like a bit of a secret crush on Cordia or something like that, but he's like, why? How would it know that? How would it know to take the face of Cordia? Where, you know, he's growing to trust his team. Like, obviously, he's spending a lot of time with Karlach and stuff like that, but, like, why would it take the face of something that he thinks is... that he sees Cordia as, like, a symbol of goodness, right? And this Dream Guardian is manipulating him, looking like something that he cares about, acting like a damsel in distress, you know, like, I must go, I can't hold it back forever. And he just, he hates it. He hates that this thing is messing with his head, and his head is already messed up from the Dark Urge, right, and from the tadpole. And so this thing adding an extra layer of confusion and manipulation, he really doesn't like it, and he doesn't trust it. But at the same time, one, he does want to find out what the source of the Absolute is, the tadpoles, that whole thing, and he wants to smash it. He does want to end it. But if what the Dream Guardian is saying is true, and what Halsin has also confirmed, that their tadpoles are like weird magic variant tadpoles that, you know, have prevented the ceremorphosis process from happening. Why would he go and destroy that magic? Because that's what's keeping him alive. So he wants to smash, but he also, his survival instincts are going, and his mind is a mess. I think we need to talk to our bestie back here. I think we need to talk to Karlach and see what she thinks. So
Glad to have an ally.
Another visit from the Golden Paladin. It said we'll get the answers we need about the tadpole if we infiltrate the cult.
Mine said the same thing. He doesn't want to use the powers. I like this one for Dirge. This feels like a trap. I don't think we should indulge this dream visitor at all.
Agreed. A bit of shiny armor doesn't impress me that much. I don't want to get taken in by a pretty offer and pay the price later on.
That don't impress me much. Ah, so you got my dreams, but have you got the power to cure my tadpole parasite? Don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright, but you keep waking me up in the middle of the night, asking me to go on quests. Okay. We do want to touch her properly. I want to say it again. Let's see what the other options are. Karlach, I'd love to be able to touch you properly.
Where would you start?
I'd take your hand in mine.
And put it somewhere interesting, I hope. Gods, we better find a way to cool me off soon. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
Well, I can think of a few places. And little baby girl Lae'zel, let's go and see.
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the Absolute Cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power, no matter how alluring. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us.
Yeah, interesting as well that it takes different forms for different people. So, you know, Karlach is a golden paladin, like this hero. She idolizes people, right? She idolizes like the heroes of Baldur's Gate and all these old stories, the characters of old, and she fangirls at people. So, you know, for it to show up like this hero, you know, that she dreams perhaps of being more like, and then Lae'zel seems to be like laying on the compliments, praising her, which again is she desires approval from Vlaakith, right? She desires to prove herself as a warrior, to be the best fighter. So if that's kind of complimenting her in that way, clearly very manipulative. I distrust the visitor too. I'll avoid using these powers.
Well chosen. Battles are won with swords, not mind games born of brainworms. And there will come a battle, of that I'm most certain. The one truth that fell out of the dream figure's cankered lips.
Yeah, now she's speaking Dirge's language, like, you know, we can talk with our blades kind of thing. These dreams linger in my memory. Do you think that strange figure will come back?
It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still.
Indeed. He's in agreement, but he wants to know what Lae'zel thinks. Who or what could that be?
A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
Yeah, and I think Dirge is going to be worried about Cordia as well. You know, like what she's saying there about this creed, this voice, and like how it's getting all these people together. It's because it's taking different forms, it's taking different faces. You know, it's being what people want it to be. And Dirge can see that, and he's worried. He's worried about how much Cordia is taken in by this, how much she, at least on a surface level, appears to believe that this is the voice of the goddess. So, yeah. We've got some stabbing to do, I think. We've got some questions that need answering. Halsin. We will get to the action, guys. There's going to be a lot of action.
You wish to speak?
I think I might be. Let's ask about how he's faring. Right, we haven't spoken to him much. Let's be polite. How are you faring out here at the camp?
Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I felt removed from nature. I'll miss my books. That I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand.
You'll find plenty of books before long. I keep coming across them everywhere.
Is that so? Well, nature does abhor waste. I will keep watch, thank you. I had a feeling time in your company would prove fruitful.
Go and speak to Gale, he's got all the books. You know, he is a healer. I think he's going to say, again, finds it hard to trust people, but needs must. I think I might be sick beyond the tadpole, and I'm getting worried.
Everything in your mind has been destroyed from what I gathered. And from the path I see you on, you are doing well at picking up the pieces. I am here to be your ear as you bear your burdens, and the arms that protect you if you can shoulder them no more. I believe you when you tell me that your symptoms do not wholly align with the makings of the parasite. But until we remove it, I doubt we will be able to isolate the rest of your troubles.
Oh my god, Scratch popping up there completely distracted me from what he was saying. Yeah, so he's looking into it for us, but he doesn't really know. Dirge is getting quite bothered by all this. Again, things have been messing with his head in more ways than one, so... Sleepwalking, hallucinating creatures, the temptations. I could lose myself before I make it to a cure.
The Oak Father must have blessed you to make it this far. Or another eye above. If I had my fleet of druids and a month of hard research, perhaps I could help. But I'm no savant. For now, I can only guarantee a cure for ceremorphosis.
Guarantee a cure for ceremorphosis? Well, thank you for that. Okay, yeah, I think we've asked a lot of these questions. I don't want to have too many repeats and too much dialogue. We're already, you know, 45 minutes in or something like that. So I'm going to leave the conversation. But, yeah, I think Dirge is getting really scared now. You know, that night where he attacked Quill in his sleep, he doesn't even remember doing it. He didn't choose to do it. He didn't have the autonomy there. You know, the idea of that autonomy being taken from him again and being used like some kind of uncontrollable puppet and, you know, hurting these people that he considers friends now, or at least, you know, these companions that he's having to trust, and, you know, being in situations where he needs to protect them from necessity. You know, I think that fear of kind of losing those companions now, and it being at his own hand is really starting to scare him. Yeah, like the monster within kind of thing. So let's get going. And I'm gonna probably save soon. No, let's go on a little adventure. So we're going lockpicking some stuff from the Zhentarim, and so I'm gonna bob out to the Selûnite Temple first. I think that's probably the best place to start.
Hey, what's on your mind, Astarion? You seemed a million miles away just then.
Oh, I was just pondering that heart of yours.
Guys.
What now? There were times I would have been thrilled if everyone who put their hands on me burst into flames.
I'd trade you if I could.
Aww. Maybe we need to give Astarion a level of Warlock so he can, you know, do Hellish Rebuke and turn people into flames. Oh, bless him. So, Astarion's story, again, if you've forgotten it, is like a story of surviving abuse. So,
Still alive.
yeah.
So that's progress.
The idea of like, I wish anyone who'd touched me would have burst into flames. I'm sorry,
Well,
I have just
catch a
reinstalled my
break.
camera mod, so it's just taking me a second to kind of like get back used to it. Yeah, so
traps,
let's go back the way we came and go and steal all the Zhentarim stuff. Again, the Zhentarim, we don't like them. They're bad guys. On the surface, they're kind of cool, right? They're kind of like traders and mercenaries, merchant mercenaries, I suppose. They trade in things that they shouldn't. They trade in people as well as weapons and smoke powder and things like this. So.
Something over there.
So that's just a way to get into the Selûnite Temple by bypassing the things. Look at this guy here. Yeah, so I'm not going to loot all this stuff on camera because I don't want to kind of bore you all, but if I just use the tab key, there's a few interesting things. So this Journal of the High Initiate Jairus will tell us a little bit more.
I saw you at the party. Did the honest and true blade sneak off for a little fun?
No, nothing like that at all.
Defensive.
Oh, but you protest too much. Now I know you were practicing your sword play.
He wasn't actually. Cordia really wanted to practice swordplay with him. Yeah, he said no, so... Staff of the Moon Maiden. What's this? Maybe Gale might like that? I don't know, Gale or Cordia. Let's send it to Cordia for now. And then also I think there's another book over here, so we'll have a quick read of these. Ancient Selûnite Journal. Maybe I'll leave that actually for Cordia to come and pick up, because Cordia and Shadowheart are doing all the Selûna stuff. But it always felt vainglorious to think my deeds were worthy of a personal journal, but as I watched the drow mass outside of our gate, I realised my arrogance is already of a far costlier sort. I see no harm in tipping the scales a little further. Not for me, but for those who followed me down into the dark. They deserve to be remembered. Initiate Norn Remis, lost in the deep tunnels as we fell back from the drow. Initiate Thulk of the Northern Wastes, grazed by an arrow and succumbed to poison. Initiate Bree Brecker, who stood against a Dryder with only her mason's hammer. Driders are they're turned into kind of like the bodies of a spider. Lolth basically is a big Dryder. They're kind of like a centaur, like the head of a human, but the body of a spider. She uses it as a Lolth, the goddess of the drow, the evil goddess of the drow. She uses it as a punishment for people who fail her, or just for fun, basically. She'll turn people into Driders. And initiates they are, the entire company, for they have seen and suffered too much to be called novices. We've collapsed the tunnel behind and have made ready to open the gate. Maybe we can carve a path through, and if not, I'll enclose a list of names and let the annals show that whatever their end, the cause was the same. One High Initiate Jairus wished to stamp his name in the history of his church. He sought to forge a path through the darkness, not realizing there are some places the light was never meant to touch. He was a fool. I am going to send that to Cordia because I think Cordia needs to read that. Again, so these are clerics of Selûna. Selûna is a goddess of light. We've just come from that Selûnite temple. But Cordia's goddess, Celestri, is also a goddess of the light. And her whole thing is bringing light to the dark places. You know, bringing goodness to the Underdark and rescuing the people from, you know, that dark situation. So, again, I think Dirge being a bit more of a practical person, and maybe seeing Cordia as a little bit naive in her hope. You know, he would be like, you should probably read that, girl. You know, really see the situation for what it is. And here, I don't know if this is like the tunnel, but there's this crushed body here. I don't really understand what they're talking about when they talk about that tunnel. So yeah, we're going to make our way back. I do want to be a bit noisy, because I wouldn't mind if this team who are a little bit stronger...
Fungal spores. Is a little blood mist too much to ask for?
Ew. We're not in the Shadowfell now. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind finding the Boulette, because I don't think it died. You know, last time when it was fighting this Minotaur and they were doing like the Goliath King Kong situation up here, I do not see a body of a Boulette.
For a while at the party. Was hoping we could regale our friends with a nice three-horn duet.
I just needed a moment of quiet to think, that's all.
What about?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, yeah. One thing I'll say for the Hells, the gossip is excellent. Faerun's a funeral parlour by comparison.
I love, honestly, Will and Karlach. I don't know how I feel about them romancing each other. Like, I see it, but I also see them as, like, best buddies, you know? Like, just really, really good pals. I love them. I love them.
Did Zariel know you'd be unable to touch anyone when she crammed that awful thing into your chest?
Is this broken? What's happening?
Thing is, I can touch devils and the like back in Avernus. I never did, because I'm not a masochist. But I could have.
Gods, I'm glad you got out of there.
Maybe I do ship Will and
With
Carla.
my new best friend on my tail the whole time. Who knew?
No, he just got friend zoned. Never mind. Oh, my new best friend. Oh, they're so cute together. I love that. Enemies to besties arc for them. It's so good. So this is the way that these guys came in here, where we fought that original Minotaur. And this is kind of like where the Zhentarim have been smuggling things. They've been using the Underdark to smuggle stuff. So...
And you? Seems a perfect hunting ground for... you know.
Perfect. You tried drinking an Earth Elemental's blood.
Yeah, the Underdark does seem like a good hunting ground for vampires, doesn't it? So yeah, basically, we don't like the Zhentarim. We found them in Moonrise Towers, not Moonrise Towers, the Goblin Camp, the Selûnite outpost. And we found them basically funding the whole operation, trading in prisoners, and we don't like them. And you know, these goods are going to be used for nefarious purposes probably. So I think they're better off in our own hands, because we are going to be the heroes that save Faerun, basically, justifying stealing. So this is why I wanted Astarion, because there's a lot of things to lockpick, and as good as Lae'zel is, Astarion is just a little bit more effective at this. She says, getting a 5. There we go. But with all those things, he got it easily. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and
let's move.
Get all this stuff. You can skip ahead if you want to. I might skip some of this out, but I'll try and do it as quickly as I can. Again, I could come back and do it off camera, but I do want to kind of show you what kind of stuff you can get from here. Definitely worth finding your way here and kind of looting stuff, because you can bypass it. You don't have to come here. It's just one of the 4 entrances to the Underdark. I used another one the other day, so that basically, you know where we fought the spiders? They were like underneath the blighted village.
Castle with bones.
Yes, Dirge, we know that you love bones and things. But yeah, so the big matriarchal spider underneath the blighted village that we went and fought, the one with all the eggs. Did we check those? I feel like we checked those ones. No, I didn't. I will get to the point eventually. Forgotten what I was going to say, actually. I'm distracted by looting. Astarion, come over here. I will get to it. Hang on. My brain can't do 2 things at once.
For a skeleton key.
So yeah, I am doing an honor mode playthrough. And so rather than risking my life to go down and get the Dark Amethyst from the spider place, I got one of the hirelings from Withers. And I got a druid, and I was thinking to myself, what if I wild shape into a spider? Right? What if I wild shape into a spider? Will I be able to just walk around and they'll leave me alone because I'm a spider? Because I feel like that's how the game should work, but it didn't work. I did get attacked, but I had a plan, and it was a really good plan. And basically what I did was I used Moonbeam and Sanctuary at the same time, so nothing could attack my little hireling. I was just Moonbeam. I was like Sanctuary, so they couldn't attack me, and every turn I could move Moonbeam, so I took care of a lot of the spiders really well. But then when I ended up getting to the matriarch spider, I was kind of out of spell slots and I wasn't doing very well, and I got my little sweet hireling, he got the Dark Amethyst, and yeah, we'll come back to that one. And he achieved his mission, and but he was really low on health. I think he had something like 3 or 5 hit points, and I didn't know what to do. So what I had him do to escape, because I was like, if I can get this guy out alive, I'm going to make him an official part of my honor playthrough team, right? I'm going to keep him on the books. And so with my 3 hit points, I managed to get over to the waypoint down there, but you couldn't get through the waypoint. It wouldn't let me. I wish I'd recorded it. I might have to like replay it so I can show you some of the footage. And so in the end, I gave him Featherfall, and he already had a really good leap, so I just had him jump right down the hole in the center of that spider layer, and you fall through and you end up in the Underdark. I've never done it before, but my eldest, she's playing with a modded character who has wings, and she'd done it, and I was like, right, I need to do that. I need to test that theory and see if it works. So he survived in the middle of the Underdark with like 3 hit points, but then I could send him to camp and he was fine. I was like, look at me with the pro gamer strategy. So on honor mode, because on honor mode you only have 1 save, and if you die, if your team gets wiped out, that's the end of the game basically, and then you're on like dishonor mode. Oh, we failed. Pay attention, Astarian, stop chatting. You're gonna have to use an inspiration. I don't want to blow this up. I'm going to try one more time. One more time. Astarian, I can't have you failing dexterity checks right now. Oh, phew. Phew. I do know a little something that might be able to help us with that.
With pleasure.
I think my sweet baby Astarian could really use advantage on his dex checks. Don't you? Maybe we can go and see if there's anything that could give us that. I think there's one more chest left to lockpick here. Here we go. Lockpick this, please, and then we can go back up to the Zentrin and claim our prize. So if you remember, when we were fighting the Gnolls, the Zentrin gave us a quest to go and get a chest and not open it and not ask questions. And we did it. We saved the guys who were transporting the chest, and they said they'd meet us back here. So now we've long rested, hopefully we can go and find them. If we take the box off them, or if they fail, they get tortured. So hopefully they're fine. Where am I? So dark in here.
Dream in red.
Okay. But before I do, I want to be a little bit sneaky. We're going to be a little bit cheeky. So back here in this room, maybe I just want to explore that room. We're gonna have to wait until these people walk off though. This wolf and this wolf and this guy, they're kind of looking in our direction. So we're just gonna give them a second. I'm gonna disband Astarian, and we're gonna have him come over here and be prepared. So what I'm gonna do is these walk off, I'm gonna crouch and go into turn-based mode. There we go. So now that I'm in turn-based mode, these cannot move. They are stuck in position until I tell them they can take a turn. I haven't wasted an action because I crouched before going into turn-based mode. So now I've got an action and 2 bonus actions to basically raid this room. So I'm going to have Astarian lockpick. By the way, a turn is 6 seconds in Baldur's Gate and D&D. So he does all of this in 6 seconds, just to make you aware of like the speed that this boy does all these things. We've lockpicked it. We're going to go in. In this chest, there's some cool gloves. I don't know if I'm going to use these because they're a bit risky, but we've got these like demon aura gloves, and basically if you have a summoned creature, they're resistant to all damage except psychic, which is massive, but they can become mad and attack the nearest creature. So I don't know if I'm going to use those or not, but there's some interesting stuff, and I've got 2 dashes as my bonus actions, so we can probably have a good look around this room all in this one turn. I'm going to steal these clothes because I think Will might look quite nice in those. And they're the first decent clothes we've seen, to be fair. So yeah, I'm going to use one of my dashes to give myself extra movement. We'll have a look here. What's this oil lamp?
I wonder, is that? No. An ordinary lamp.
Oh, disappointed. We've got this here. There came a woman to me, who I am shall henceforth call R, greatly distraught at the usual tempers of her husband, who I shall henceforth call B. I'm just going to go ahead and keep hold of that book, I think. Steal. Maybe that's going to come in useful later. And we'll just kind of have a look through, see if there's anything else interesting to steal in this room. A little bit of gold there. There's another book. Notes from a soothsayer. Don't waste your movement, Astarion. Each chapter in this book details a unique case study in the soothsayer Geraldine Haverdow's illustrious career. Right, I will let you read that if you want to. Maybe we'll have a read of that ourselves later. There's a nice bowl, which I guess I don't have enough movement to steal. Do you know what? I'm going to leave the bowl. We can use the last bit of movement speed to come over here. I don't think there's anything too interesting in that desk, but there's another book here that I do want to grab. This? Traveller's Guide to the Sword Coast, the Outer City. Steal. Is there anything here? Stop walking back in two. How much movement do I have left? Not very much. I am going to have to be really quick when I do this. Am I outside of the door? I don't think I am. Right, we're going to exit turn-based mode. Come forward a bit. Shut the door. Come forward and stand up. And nobody is going to know what we just did. We got away with it. We're super sneaky. And I am going to save for reasons. Okay, so here we go. We've made our way back over to Zaris. And here are the two guys that we helped.
This place bare.
Okay, these are the two guys that we helped with the gnolls, who were kind of like stuck in that cave trying to fight off the gnolls. And yeah, they're maybe they're not friends, but maybe associates is a better word for them.
I owe you one for saving my people.
Yeah, you do.
The Zhentarim look out for their own, even if it's Rugen.
Seemed alright to me, to be honest.
Here's your coin, as promised. Our trader can show you some of our more exotic items now. But don't delay. This place is likely to be rubble soon.
Nice. So we've got Harold, which does an extra little bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and send that to Karlach. That feels like a Karlach type weapon. Karlach, this one's for you. Let's go ahead and equip that, because currently she's got like a boring light crossbow. So if we have a look at this, it does quite a bit more damage, and it also, when you hit them, they have to do a charisma saving throw or be baned for 2 turns. And Bane is the god of kind of tyranny. Means that they, to be baned means that they have a 1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws. So the game will roll a d4 and deduct it from their attacks and saving throws. So yeah, really cool, good stuff there. We definitely want that. So we're gathering quite a few nice little magic items now. I love to see it.
Sealed lamps. Don't want open flames where we're going.
Now, the thing is, like, if I just grab Dirge and we go and talk to that trader, there he is, Brem. Hi, Brem. He's gonna have better stuff now in his
Something
I
can help you with?
I want to trade.
Of course. Got some interesting stock for a friend of the family.
We're in the Zhentarim stock now. He's got some really good stuff. He's got some dyes I'm definitely interested in. And he's got some more interesting items, a couple of bows and this jolty vest. And yeah, what's this? You're the Sparkstruck got their nickname from both their obsession with lightning and the inventions they created. So that's a magician who invented a lot of the really cool kind of magic electric items that Cody has been using in the game. So yeah, there's definitely some good stuff that I want to get. However, we don't want to give money to the Zhentarim, and unfortunately patch 7 has fixed the bug that allowed you to kind of steal from traders using the backpack trick. So don't do that anymore. You will get caught. They will be mad at you. And I'm really, really sad. Like, why do game developers fix the good bugs? I think if you are a player and you've got to the point in the game where you discover things like the bag trick, like, I think, you know, like, let people play the way they want to play. If people want to feel really smart and scam the traders in that way, don't fix those bugs. Like, we all love that bug. Like, and those of us who don't like it, just don't use it. You don't have to use that bug, right? Nobody's forcing you. It doesn't break the game. So I think I've got a hair stuck on my eyelash. So I'm really quite upset with Larian and game studios in general when they fix bugs that the players love and that benefit the players and that don't detract from gameplay in any sort of way. Like, it's such a shame that they fix that, because I think it shows that they don't really understand like the fun side of of kind of like finding those hacks and finding the workarounds and finding those kind of cool tips and tricks. Like, that's part of enjoying the game. It's part of what the community love to share with each other. So Larian, why did you do that? Like, stop spoiling our fun. But it does mean I'm gonna have to be forced to pickpocket now, which I'm not particularly good at, honestly. And it's scary because the Zentrum are scary. So I'm going to grab these gloves of thievery, which give us advantage on sleight of hand checks. So it's going to be easier to pickpocket him and get the rest of the items if I buy this off him, basically. So 120, let's balance the offer and we'll just buy those gloves. Oh, I'm so annoyed with them for spoiling my fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on Astarion. Astarion, could you, what are you doing up there still? Could you please grab these gloves of thievery? Because again, they give us advantage. So basically, he's got so much stuff. He's got so many modifiers that he's probably going to roll quite high. Like when he does lockpicking, he normally gets like 25, 30, which should be fine for most lockpick checks. Sorry, pickpocketing checks. And then if we have advantage as well, we're really getting the odds in our favor because instead of rolling once and taking like whatever we get, we roll twice. So basically the chances of rolling 2 ones are going to be really low. And with his modifiers, a lot of the time, he's going to have enough modifiers to get him over the checks for lockpicking. I'll kind of show you when we actually do it. So having advantage is going to be really, really strong for us though. We definitely want to keep that. I'm also going to give him those gloves too. Okay. And we can work out, we can reassign equipment in between episodes. There is something else I want to get though before we do this. So I'm just going to use the checkpoints. I'm going to go basically just upstairs. It's just a faster way of getting back upstairs. And we're going to go to the Risen Road because there's something that I missed. Now, do you remember when I was like under the bridge and I was like, I'm sure there's something down here that I'm meant to get and I'm sure I'm forgetting something. So if we go back down here, over this way. So this is all the way back where we met Karlach on that log. We can go this way along the river. What is that? What did you just see? Oh, I think there's a thing we can dig up. See, we missed so much stuff back here. You guys all need to shout at me in the comments. If you know I'm missing stuff, please tell me. Here we go. Just a little bit of black and jade green dye. That's not a bad one. We'll take it. And then we are going to go back down here to the river. So again, that's why we met Karlach. We're going to go in this direction and follow the river around. And it's not very far in and it is hard to spot because I don't think it shows up without. But around here somewhere, there's a skeleton there. Can you see him? Like hiding in the bushes there. So I'll kind of zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see where he is. He's near these 2 like sticks that stick out over the water.
Open up.
He has a ring that Astarion's going to need. It's this smuggler's ring. So it's going to give him a minus to charisma, but it's going to give him a +2 to sleight of hand and a +2 to stealth. So that is going to massively, massively help with Astarion's pickpocketing skills. Let's go over here and we're going to grab the ring. What's he currently wearing? He's got a slot, so there we go. So fingers crossed, the odds are now in our favour and we're going to be able to successfully pickpocket the Zentrum. But I'm scared because this can go wrong. And I think I've kind of decided, I'm going to save first, but I have kind of decided that if it does go wrong, we're just going to roll with it. Like, this is my perfect playthrough. So, like, I do want to, you know, I do want to get things perfect. Well, at the same time, I have been playing on a mode, and on a mode forces you to, because you can't roll back your save, it forces you to live with the consequences of your actions. Oh no, my neighbours have started working again. I wish they'd tell me. They were out there yesterday, they could have told me. I'm sorry, you're going to hear knocking in the background, guys. Oh. I also want to have a quick chat with these guys. So, Ollie?
Good to see you. Killed any more beasts out there?
Yes, a Minotaur or 2.
Thanks again. Hope Zari's treated you to something nice.
Yeah, we got a really cool bow, thanks. And you're not being tortured, so you can get away with that salty attitude. So I'm actually going to leave Karlach and Will up here, just in case things go wrong. And I'm just going to grab Dirge and Astarion, and we're going to head down here. Now, can you see all this smoke powder and all this oil all over the floor? That definitely feels like a bad place to stand. So I'm going to have them come over all the way over here to this ladder. This is my technique. This is my plan for this. Look at how he runs sometimes, Astarion. He's so funny. So we're really out of the range of a lot of this smoke powder, basically. And I'm going to use Minor Illusion, which is a trick that Dirge has, to encourage the trader to come closer to me. So he's going to come over here, and then I'm going to talk to him to keep him in this position, basically. I am moving a bit closer to him.
Something I can help you with?
Yes, actually, I want to trade, but I'm going to use character select to sneak out and switch to Astarion. So basically what's happening is that Dirge is holding this person in position. He's holding him in dialogue here, and fingers crossed, Astarion is now going to be able to sneak behind him. And that guy's not going to be able to see us. So, let's... Okay. Oh, another thing I want to do, I completely forgot about this. One final piece of equipment that we're going to need for this is we're going to have to swap Lae'zel for a second for the guidance necklace. There we go. So we're going to give ourselves guidance. And then we're going to crouch to hide. And then we're going to go into turn-based mode. And again, everybody's going to be held in position. So this guy's not going to who's walking around isn't going to turn around and see us. And then we're going to try and pickpocket. Now, wish me luck that this works. Okay, pickpocket.
Let's have a rummage.
So we want the bow. Titan string bow. This weapon deals an additional damage equal to your strength modifier. Target's 10. Can we do it? And again, we're rolling twice because we have advantage. And you can see there he's getting a +3 from dexterity and a +6 from sleight of hand. So that means that whatever we roll, say we roll, if you roll a 1, it's an automatic fail, but our chance of rolling 2 1s is pretty low. So say we roll a 2, we're also going to get a +9 on that. So basically, as long as we don't roll 2 1s, we're going to get a minimum of 10, right? No, 11. 9 + 2, yeah, 11. So, target's 13 on that one, it's a bit higher. So there is still a chance that we're not going to do this. Target 5, there we go. But it's a very, very low chance of not being able to do it. What else do I have? I also want the, I am going to get all the things. Black and red furnace dye, target 3, take it. What other dyes do I want? Black and azure dye. Harlequin black and white dye, I like that one. Dyes are quite easy, they have quite a low target. But the special items, potions of invisibility.
Not even a challenge.
These are what I want though, the jolty vest and the giant breaker. We did it. Okay, jolty vest, can we do it? Is that everything then? Did I get the gloves? Because there were 2 sets of gloves.
You're coming with me.
We did it, we did it, we did it, we did it. So he's rolled a 2, but then he's got +9 to it, right? I think that's everything that we should get. I could try and steal his cash. It's a very high target though. I don't think it's worth the trouble. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to come out of this, I'm going to regroup, and we're going to teleport out of there as fast as we can before we get challenged. So... Okay. Can I teleport? No, not while I'm in turn-based mode. Right, you ready, guys? Wish me luck. End turn. Map. Oh, it's not letting me? It's not letting me. Why is it not letting me? Why is it not letting me? Because I'm in dialogue? Okay, leave. Hopefully, because he might still realise. Oh, what am I doing? I'm doing it wrong because I'm panicking. Map. I can't do it. I can't go. We're not in turn-based mode. Oh, we are. Exit turn-based mode. Okay, oh my god. I just got so... I panicked there. I panicked and made mistakes. But we're out. We did it. That was tense, guys. So let's have a look at our swag. Good job, Astarion. I wish, on one hand, I don't think they should have patched out that bug, the backpack bug. But at the same time, like, being forced to pickpocket instead, like, it is quite fun and it is quite risky. Like, it is good gameplay, but I wish that they hadn't done that. So Hail of Thorns is really cool. I think everybody's got pretty good gloves at the moment. I'm not sure who I'd give that to, but I'll just keep hold of them for a hot second. The Giant Breaker. This weapon hits hard enough to send your targets reeling for 2 turns. Maybe Lae'zel would like that. Oh, what have I just done? So Lae'zel currently only has like a boring heavy crossbow +1, but if she took that off Astarion, there you go. So it's the same 3 to 12, but it can send them reeling, so it's slightly better. It's enchanted. We also have the Titan Spring Bow. This weapon deals additional damage to your strength modifier. I kind of want to give that possibly Astarion, but his strength is quite low. But I have a bit of a plan for that as well. The Jolty Vest is going to go to Cordia. And yeah, that is what we've got. So the last thing I want to do before we switch back to Cordia is dye Astarion's clothes. So we've got that black and furnace red dye, and I feel like that's his vibe. So let's start dyeing all his armor. And this is going to look super cool. Not that one, black and furnace red. There we go. And we'll dye his... This is his reward for being a good pickpocket. He gets to have a full makeover, basically. Look at how swaggy he looks now. Look at how cool he looks. I love the colours. Like, look at him. He looks great. Come over here, Astarion, so we can see you. Come into the light, Astarion. Come out of the shadows so we can look at your blood red and black armor. He looks awesome. I love that so much. Okay, let's have them all hide and just hang out here for a little bit. And then I'm going to go back to Cordia. And yeah, we're going to see what adventures these guys can get up to. So let's put on that, even though I've just dyed her armor, let's go ahead and put on the Jolty Vest, because I think lightning damage might actually come in useful for us where we're going. I'm going to dye it because I dye all her armor. It's a vibe. Where is the light blue dye? There it is. I've got loads of that. There we go. Beautiful. It's very grey, actually. It's a lot, I think it's a lot more grey than some of the other armors that we've dyed, but that is awesome. I am excited. Okay, I'm excited and I'm nervous. I think I want to save again. It's not bad. Right, let's go back to the Selûnites. Where are we? Where do I want to go? Underdark Selûnite Outpost. There we go. I'm still panicking a bit from the pickpocketing. That's what it is. And we're going to head out. So, like I say, Dirge definitely kind of like would have sent her that book about Jarrahs. She's got this staff as well now. Staff of the Moon Maiden. It does actually do more damage than her lightning stuff, but I want to keep the lightning stuff on her a little bit longer.
Buried the hatchet, Lae'zel?
No. Why would I bury a weapon? Is it broken?
It's a metaphor.
I do not know your metaphor, but if you need help digging, I will find a shovel.
I do not know your metaphor. Okay. She's a very literal person, right? And then there was a book out here as well, wasn't there, that we wanted to look at? There we go. Ancient Selûnite Journal. Let me pick that up. There's a lot of stuff out here. Again, I'm going to do the majority of the scouring off camera because I think it gets a little bit boring if people are just checking every single thing. So, oh my goodness, it's like it was made for me. I can't sleep without the moon and stars. As a child, I prayed to them even before I ever knew Selûna's name. Is that blasphemy? I mean, where Cordia grew up, she couldn't see the moon and stars, right? She grew up in the Underdark, so the moon and stars were not a thing. But Illistery found her. When I love the idea of, well, like, let's make it canon that Cordia had that thing where, as a priestess of Lolth, she was assigned to go up to the surface to find someone to sacrifice and bring them back down to the Underdark. And, like, she got to the surface and saw the moon and stars for the first time. And, like, that's when Illistery spoke to her. Let's make that canon. I love that. Is that blasphemy? When I walk the battlements, the only light I see is the glow of their eyes out there waiting. That's the glow of the drow eyes, right? So this is one of the Selûnites. I know the High Initiate is making a plan. He'll get us out of this. That's Jarrus. We're making a stand. Moon maidens fair, lend us your light, to guide us home in the dark of night, to keep us on the path of right, ever burning, ever. And then the last, it must be bright, the last line of the prayer succumbs to blurring as if stained by something wet. Ooh, so they didn't even get to finish the poem. Oh, this must be their last stand. It must be the skeleton here. We'll take your money though. I'll take your money. There's also something very, very interesting to quote. Oh, it's the bullet! It's the bullet! Nobody move. Everybody sneak.
That's a friendly looking shadow.
Oh, I am so scared because I do not know where that's going to pop up. I thought we were going to fight it when we first encountered it, and then we all hid and it went away, and now I'm like, that is completely unexpected. I don't know when. I don't know when it's going to come for us, and that's scary to me. So this sword here. Now, some of you may already know the Faerun. It's a very, very famous sword in this game, and I personally love it. So in my D&D campaign, again, I'm playing as a cleric of Illustri, different character, but Illustri is known as the sword dancer, and she gifts her clerics with a moon blade, and this moon blade, it can only be held by members of the same drow family, and it gets inscribed with, depending on how many owners it's had, it gets inscribed with runes, and the runes give it magic power. And I believe that the Faerun is intended to be like Illustri's moonblade. I am getting like full body shivers. So this is really exciting to me, again, because this is something that my character's been doing, and it's a really cool sword. If you watch a lot of like builds, Baldur's Gate builds, everybody's like, of course I got the Faerun. So this is a big moment for Cordia, and I'm so excited for her. Okay, stand back up. Bless me, guys, though. I'm gonna need the rolls. We haven't actually switched back the necklaces on Lae'zel and Astarion. I need to do that before I forget. Even though like me and Shadowheart both have guidance, so it's still. Oh, what did I just do? I didn't mean to do that. Even though me and Shadowheart both have guidance, like I just want to do it while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget. Basically. Okay. Are you ready, guys, for the Faerun?
A slender drow blade impales the stone before you, keeping a silent vigil. You recognize your goddess is right, a warrior's sacrifice. Only blood freely given will honor the fallen.
So she knows what to do. So if you're not a drow, you're not going to necessarily understand what to do here. You're going to have to, you know, use different techniques to discover what's going on with this. But she knows this. It's like it's made for her. It's like Illustri has left it there for her. I hate this though. Ew, gross.
The drow script inscribed on the blade flickers and glows. It rises from the stone, hanging in the air in silent offering. A soft melody resounds through your head, Illustri's divine gratitude.
I'm so excited. I love it so much. The only problem is, and this is the exact problem I had in D&D, which doesn't make any sense, but I am not proficient in it. So it's actually designed for clerics of Illustri. If it's a moonblade, which is what I believe it is, yeah, look at it. Though I have to leave you, I will dance forever in Illustri's light. So, which honestly, if you look up the funeral rites of Illustri, they do, when people are gonna die, they go out and they strip naked and they dance in the moonlight, and then they just kind of like fade into, like, they sing a song and they do the dance, and like they just fade into. Oh, it's so beautiful. I actually had it like in my D&D campaign. It's so gorgeous. So yeah, so being specifically made for a cleric of Illustri, why can clerics of Illustri not use longswords? Like, why are we not proficient in them? It doesn't make any sense. But we're going to equip it anyway, because we need to get longsword proficiency from somewhere, because that is her blade. And then the really special thing, and this is why everybody loves the Faerun, if you get 2-weapon fighting, the Faerun is a versatile longsword. I believe it's the only versatile longsword in the game, so you can dual wield it, which is super cool. So we're gonna have to figure out something with that. Maybe we take a little bit of fighter or something. But yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we can do it with a feat. I don't know. Now, I'm going to have to go back over here. So I will meet you when we've worked our way back around. We're going to go back through the Selûnite Temple. And back out of the window. And back down to the Wizard's Tower. So you can see as well, all the drow have left. The drow that were here basically turned to stone by the spectator. They've all gone. Presumably to continue... Well, I don't know, because when we spoke to Dawn, we convinced him that he was the last male heir of his house and that he should return home and have his pick of like all the honours basically, which I don't know, that doesn't tie in very well with D&D lore, because D&D lore is like men are not really valued by drow societies, but I guess if he's the only male heir, he's going to be somewhat valued, of a noble family, he's going to be like somewhat valued due to just basic reproduction potential, right? Just genetically, like, because he's going to be able to give people the offspring of his family. So, okay, this area then. We do want to go to the Wizard's Tower. And I think Cordy is also going to be thinking, like, this is very red. And when she looked at the stone, which were telling us about that ancient forge, it was very red. So this might be the path to that forge that people have been trying to get to. But also Cordia knows about the Underdark. She grew up here. She's gonna know that these are torch stalks, like, right? So she's gonna...
Bodies for the harvest.
Oh no, I didn't want you to go down. Oh gosh, be careful. Oh, we have seen these throughout the game. They were actually even in Druid's Grove, I believe. There was a couple kind of behind the prism. But yeah, she would definitely know to clear the path around here. And then I'm a bit worried about that boulette again, so I'm going to creep again.
For me.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's gone off to the left.
These burrow holes must have been dug by some creature. Most likely not a creature I'd like to meet.
Yeah, like, well, we've met it actually, Gale. Like, were you paying attention when we were knocked over by the boulette the other week? I suppose not. Am I the only one creeping here? Do you all want to fight a boulette? We're definitely going to go and explore that area as well soon. But
I've been watching you fight, Shadowheart. Your skills are improving.
My skills were just fine to begin with. You can save the compliments.
I don't pay compliments. I make observations.
I love it. Right, a lot of the aggression at the moment is coming from Shadowheart to Lae'zel, which is probably her being defensive because she stole the Githyanki relic from the Githyanki people. So she's clearly kind of a bit like defensive on that. But Lae'zel is actually trying to... I mean, even though Lae'zel attacked Shadowheart, right? No, who attacked who? I can't even remember who attacked who. I feel like Shadowheart attacked Lae'zel, didn't she, in the middle of the night? Shadowheart, leave Lae'zel alone. Leave my baby girl alone. What are you doing? Be friendly. Right, let's go and check out this wizard tower. Gale, do you have anything to say about this?
Scorch marks. Hints of weave, too. There might just be trouble afoot.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and Illustri... Oh my goodness. Back up, back up. No, bad things have happened. We have been spotted. This arcane turret is vulnerable to lightning damage, which is perfect because me and Gale both have lightning damage. Everybody hide. I can't currently hide. I need to get out of the range of this thing though. Back up, back up, back up. Okay. Exit turn-based mode. I'm sorry, you can hear that hammering again, probably.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Let's ungroup. Shadowheart, you are a little bit... That's not Shadowheart. Who is that? Lae'zel? Honey, you're a little bit close. Can you move back? You, Shadowheart, and Gale's cat stay out of the way.
Shadowheart. Such a name implies yours is a difficult heart to find.
It's now the time,
Not
Gale.
that hard to find. Perhaps any difficulty is more telling of you, Gale.
He doesn't give, like, he does give a bit socially awkward vibes, doesn't he? Okay, we need to try and get over to this thing. Gale, I am going to be back up, basically. I'm going to try and stay out of the sight of it, over against this wall, because that definitely was some kind of targeting system. Did you see it? Gale, leave your cat behind. I'm going to need you to teleport here, where this thing can't see us. So can you Misty Step to about, I'm going to guess about there. So he's crouched. So because we were hidden, like crouched when we moved, it hasn't spotted us. There's another one, I believe, over here. So we just need to be careful of that as well. So now what I'm going to do, because I'm not in turn-based mode, I'm going to Misty Step again, and I'm going to Misty Step without moving, right? It's really important that I don't, because if you see, if I do it like that, he's moving out into the eye line of it. We need to stay hidden, and we need to Misty Step behind it. Okay, he still hasn't seen us. So now what I want to do is use one of my lightning spells. How much does it have? It has 17. It has 17 hit points, and it's got vulnerability to lightning. So that means I have to hit it, because we do double damage. So as long as I hit it for, so it'll be 18, 9. As long as I do 9 damage, this thing's going down. We've got advantage as well, which means we roll twice. I think we can do this just with a shocking gasp breath. Yeah, 30 damage and it's down. Okay, great job, Gale. Crouch again, and we'll go and deal with that other one. Step by step. Again, I feel like, you know, where Cordia is like, I understand the Shadow Heart, I know the rules here, I know the dangers. Gale is the guy we need to invade a wizard's tower. So I can move him around a bit here. There we go, we can go there. Misty Step up behind this one as well. Make sure we're crouched. Okay, not even in turn-based mode, not even triggered a fight yet. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Shocking Grasp, 17 hit points, advantage. Perfect. Another thing that you can do here is this big statue. If you hit it with the right thing, it can fall on things, but I like to do it that method. So yay.
With haste.
So good job, Gale. Gale's going to come running over and he's going to be like, we've got the all clear, everything's fine. I've cleared the way. We're safe. Okay, and this is paved, so I feel like once we're in here, we don't have to worry about the boulette as much, because he kind of comes up through the dirt, right through the earth. Okay, so there's a few things we can grab on the way. I'm not going to search every single kind of like corner of this place, on camera at least. Off camera, I'll go around and grab everything, because we do need as much as we can get, basically. Especially, like, again, because I've been doing an Unamode playthrough, like, Unamode playthrough without the bag trader hack has been it's difficult. Like, your resources need to be used wisely. There's a treasure chest here and everybody failed the Arcana check, so I can't dig it up, which is really frustrating. But there's some interesting stuff over here. So clearly there's a little bit of kind of like a forge thing going on here, so maybe we're going to get clues to the big forge from this place. There's some ingots. There's a letter to Yer. Yer is the person, I don't know how to pronounce it, Y-R-R-E, is the person who made this sparkly armor. And basically all the sparkly things, the jolt shooter, the sparks wall, the sparkly shoes that we have, everything is made by Yer. So you can see there, Yer the Sparkstruck left the Underdark. An enormous storm was raging for the first time. Yer the Sparkstruck left the Underdark. The deep gnomes, so is a deep gnome. His interest in lightning became at once an all-consuming obsession, and they would spend the rest of their years striving to recreate that storm's power for themselves. And this says Yer the Sparkstruck got their nickname for both their obsession with lightning and the inventions they created. So this clearly is where Yer, the inventor of all my items, worked. Dearest Yer, I don't know if you're coming back, if you'll ever read this message. So this is a letter to this deep gnome who was inventing all this stuff. If you'll ever read this message, but if you do come back, could you wait for me? I'll only be gone a few 10 days, but the thought of coming back to this empty tower with nothing but Bernard to fill these halls, I don't know how much longer I can take this. I miss you. I miss you so much. I can't shake the thought of how different things might have been. If only I'd been less stubborn. Working on your lightning inventions, my magic, eating together, laughing at your stupid puns, waking up next to you. Despite everything, I still love you. So please, if you read this, can you wait? I'll be back. I won't be long. Forever yours, Lenore. A few sentences are penned down in a different hand. I waited until Tarshk. I'll always wait for you, but you didn't come. Okay, so what seems to have happened is these two people lived in the tower together. This year went to the surface to work on his lightning inventions or something, and Lenore missed him, or her, I don't know gender, and maybe they went looking for them. It seems like Lenore also left. Yeah, if you read this, I'll come back, I won't be long. So Lenore also left the tower, and it seems like Yer came back because it says it's written in a different hand, and they waited and waited, and Lenore didn't come back. So it's kind of like a ships passing in the night thing. So I don't know what happened to them, but the tower does seem kind of abandoned. I don't know, maybe we'll find them in there. Okay, what else is happening here? Is this trapped? I feel like this is going to be trapped. I'm scared. No, I think we're okay.
Oh,
Lae'zel, this one's for you.
I crave blood.
With your sleight of hand proficiency. I thought that gave me advantage on the attack rolls. It does give me this +3. I'm going to have Shadowheart Guide Lae'zel, because that's fun. There we go. Blessed relationship. And we're going to have Claudia open the box. Ooh, a Skybreaker, Searing Smite. Karlach already has that. It's a light hammer, so I think it can be dual wielded. Maybe I'll send that to someone like Astarion or Dirge, perhaps? Because they can both dual wield light weapons. Well, I think everybody can dual wield light weapons, to be fair. Okay, let's head up to the doors and let's just see if anyone is home.
Wizard's Tower is his sanctum. Private place for research and respite. But as this wizard's not home, I say we take a peek.
Okay, Gale says they're not home. Okay. Let's have a look. There is this open window here. There's another one of those arcane towers looking directly at us. We could use the same method, but I think we should try and see if there's another way in. Let's stand up so we...
Indulge me, Lae'zel. As someone unfettered by Faerunian beauty standards, how would you appraise my appearance?
Gale!
Your beard looks like the hairy tufts upon the Sirlon, the largest of worm kind that slither our skies.
I suppose that's a bad thing? No, don't answer that.
That's so funny. This is why I gave you the moustache, Gale, because the beard is awful. I feel like that's an in-joke with the team where they were like, we're acknowledging that that beard is not the best beard that has ever existed in computer games. Tell you what though, the Viking beard with the plaits, that looks great. So let's go, let's see if we can follow these mushrooms around and find a different way in. Let's jump across here. It's almost like I've played this game before, guys. For 600 hours or whatever it is that I've been playing this. Yeah, let's work our way around. I do think the Underdark is stunning, and this is why I'm so glad I've got my camera mod, because you really get like a feel of the place. Like, look at this place. Oh, oops. Oh my god. Okay, let's just keep going. I clearly pressed the wrong button there. I meant to press F10, which is how you go into like what's similar to like tab mode. It hides the UI in like The Sims, like similar thing to that for like screenshots and stuff. But something went a bit wrong. So here we go. We've worked our way down. Somebody took a little bit of damage there. Is the cat with us? Yeah, the cat made it. Okay. If I try and jump down here, I am going to lose hit. So, I think what I'm going to do is... I'm going to have a Gale Misty step down. Let's ungroup. And before I do, I think sometimes Lae'zel has them, but I think Karlach has, yeah, crates in her inventory. So I'm just going to drag a crate from Karlach's inventory over to Gale. And then I'm going to have Gale ungroup his cat. Misty step down so he doesn't take damage. We could take the damage. It's only like 2 full damage, but I want to show you this technique as well. So we can drop the crate. And now, hopefully, everybody can jump down onto the crate and not take full damage. There we go. Cordia.
Need to find a way forward.
Shadowheart.
Something over there.
So this is just, if you've got a small character, or gaseous form or something like that, you can get in that way.
Let's try
but
this way.
I know a different way and we don't have to bother with that. There we go. And finally, Gale's cat. So Lae'zel, get out of the way.
Assume nothing.
How do you maintain such an elaborate plait, Shadowheart?
I helped her with it.
The craftsmanship is impressive.
Now that you mention it, I can't remember who taught me. Another memory lost, perhaps.
Still, if you let me watch your technique, I might learn it from you.
Oh, I love the idea.
Maybe, if you keep a respectable distance.
Because again, I said at the beginning of the video, like Cordia and Shadowheart have like had a little hair braiding session to make Shadowheart look really impressive if she runs into Dark Justiciars. She wanted to like have her, you know, iconic hairdo. And so I like the idea of like Shadowheart taught Cordia the technique and Cordia helped her. And then like the idea of like Lae'zel also joining in, maybe having a bit of FOMO and feeling a bit left out and being like, but I want a girly pajama party night too. I kind of love that. There we go. So the cats also jump down so we can regroup everybody and be on our merry way.
Keep it together.
And again, the Underdark, Shadowheart is beautiful, but I think the Underdark is particularly gorgeous. Like all these crystals growing everywhere, all the glowing mushrooms. I think it's such a vibe. I think it's so pretty. So there's a few things that you can grab around here. A couple of blue cat mushrooms. I can't really remember what they do. And we're going to head over and get this bullywug trumpet. That's what they're called.
Chill runs through you. Your magic, the fire that burns within, is fading.
Bit of a worry. So again, I'm a draconic sorcerer, so I'm going to call on my ancestor. I will not submit. My magic is stronger than whatever this is.
Your magic erupts, violent and powerful, but is snuffed out by the Susa flower, vanishing like embers in the wind.
What's the matter? I could swear this plant's got you flush.
That flower isn't agreeing with you, is it? Doesn't sit well with me either.
The plant's got me a bit flush. It's the flower. My magic is gone.
It's the same for me. We're sitting ducks among Susa flowers, you and I.
I'll wager they'll come back as soon as we move away from here.
I'm not worried. My powers will return if they're meant to.
That's the spirit. Now let's get moving before anything else goes missing.
I'm going to insert... Normally I have Gale talking to me there. I'm not sure why it was Shadowheart and not Gale. So I think... yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I'll try and get that footage though and insert it as well. Because really it should be Gale, because this is all like wizard stuff. So I think Gale and Cordia would definitely want to move away from the Susa tree as fast as possible. Being a sorcerer and wizard, it's like they feel really vulnerable, not being able to access their magic, which is how they fight. I do love that answer though, like I can fight with weapons too, but not my blimmin' Faerun apparently. Okay, Lae'zel, you're up again. Can we turn these lights on?
No way to ignite these.
Strange.
Very strange. Lae'zel, I need your lockpicking skills. I crave blood. Even though we can look through the wall and get a sneak peek, apparently.
Isn't it so that every time you speak as you cast a spell, you're endeavoring to call upon Mystra? I'm surprised she still listens to you.
She has no choice. She's sworn to hear all magic users. Even me. I'm sure she at least stuffs her fingers in her ears to muffle my invocations.
Again, because Mystra, the goddess of magic, that Gale relies on to cast his spells, is kind of mad at him because he messed around with the Karsite weave. But yeah, she's not completely... He can't be in her bad graces that much, otherwise she wouldn't, like, grant him access to her magic, would she? So, you know, she must... I mean, she does have a use for him, right? Like, I don't know. Lae'zel. Wait, did I not guide her properly? Why haven't I given her guidance? Okay. Thieves' Tools. Guidance from Shadowheart, because it's funny to me. There we go. Now it works. Good job, Lae'zel. Good. You make a good team, Shadowheart and Lae'zel. Let's go in. Okay.
Right on my feet.
Ew, crystals. They may come in useful for my alchemy. So as Cody's kind of running here and looting all these crystals, I feel like Gale is going to notice something about... sorry, the cameras have got a bit jaunty. About this wall here. This wall looks interesting. And we're going to use his mage hand. So this isn't the... There is another way to get in here, but it's quite hidden. So this is the method I end up using to get in here. And yeah, it's tried and tested. So this is the method I'm going to use. I will show you the official way to get in here if you like. There we go. Yeah, I just mage hand over the wall and pull the lever. That's the most effective way to do it, basically.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
And we can go into this basement and see what's down here. I think, you know, if you're raiding a wizard's tower, it's always a good idea to start at the bottom and work your way up. Okay, look at all this cool stuff, guys. So there's quite a lot of loot in here. Doesn't appear that anyone's home. They might have been gone for a while. Elminster, friend of Gale's, said Narloth was a wonder to behold when it floated in Faerun's sky. He was surely right. The Netherese Enclave was once a jewel in the Empire of Magic, with towers that that was the mage hand, with towers that pierced the heavens, and yet it fell, just as all Netherese enclaves did, crashing down when Karsus's folly ripped magic from the world. But even after it collapsed into the sea, its ruins still held a strange, twisted beauty. I travelled here from Halrua when I heard the sea had retreated and the ruins of Narloth were visible once again. Alas, I was not the first. Looters had stripped the enclaves of material wealth, destroying much of its esoteric riches in the process. I found arcane books used to make campfires. Their magic lost now to the ages. Oh my god, don't let Gale read this book. He'll be ranting about this all night. I have met some Shadovar here, whose interests align with mine. I don't know what they are. And we have agreed to search the ruins together. I'm grateful for these allies. The ruins are mostly filled with thick-skulled adventurers, but I cannot shake the feeling that someone is watching us, waiting to see what we uncover. That's an interesting book. What's that about? Who wrote it? Oh, Tongues of Madness. They could definitely come in useful. We'll grab those. Okay. Oh, do you see what I see, guys? Hang on. Well, what's this book for a second? Oral Histories of the Faerun and the Spellplate. We'll just grab that. Look at this. Staff of Arcane Blessing. Gale, I feel like this one is for you. I got the Faleraloob, you get the Staff of Arcane Blessing. It's only fair. So, this Staff of Arcane Blessing, Mistress Blessing, I feel like it's made for Gale. Bless grants an additional 1d4 to saving rolls and weapon attack rolls. So we can cast Bless from the staff basically now. Yeah, though dust has settled onto every nook and cranny of this staff, it still emanates a soothing aura. Its previous owner cast it aside, forgotten because there was nobody to bless. Oh my god, that's so sad. But yeah, I feel like we should take that. That's cool. And it looks awesome. Look at this thing. Let's talk to him and just see how cool this looks.
Always a delight to speak with you. What can I do?
I thought you might have something to say about the Wizard Tower, Gale, to be honest.
A word of advice. Wizards' towers can be volatile places. They keep their secrets buried and their dangers close to the surface. Ah, quite. A misadventure from my days as an apprentice at Blackstaff Academy. I was but a child, only a few months into my studies, but already I knew I was destined for greatness. No one believed me, of course. So I decided to prove it, to cast a spell with the Black Staff itself. From one perspective, I succeeded. I opened a portal. However, instead of pointing it at the first-year dormitory, I found myself pulled into limbo, facing a very irritated death lad. Fortunately, the Blackstaff himself came to the rescue, hauling me back from the brink and straight into several months of writing lines, or rather, finessing my autograph. Now, much as I enjoy reminiscing about such tomfoolery, I believe we've more pressing matters at hand. Is there anything else?
Okay, what else do we have here? Nothing there. There's lots of like books and things. Right, I'm going to tell you now, it is quite important to read the books in this place. Not every single one necessarily, but certain ones like the Dehurst Diary might be interesting. The Adventurer, what does that say? Otherwise Plain book has the words L. Dehurst and Diary written on the front of it in faded silver ink. So this is Lenore's diary basically. So again, I know it's boring to have to click on every book and open every book, but this one you don't want to miss. Crisp cursive fills the pages of the diary, detailing the daily struggles of a cleric of Mystra studying the magical properties of the Underdark. The last entry dates back about 10 years. Yeah, so 10 years ago it appears that this place got abandoned. Who would have thought 3 years ago that I would start a diary? Not a research journal, but a real diary. I guess when every soul is more like to kill you than converse with you, talking to a book starts to make sense. And who would have thought 3 years ago that I would be called back to Baldur's Gate to confer with the other clerics of Mystra, right at the apex of my studies? I have all the pieces, but I have barely started my treaty. No matter, I will take my ring with me to show them a glimpse of the possibilities. I will leave you my dear book here, together with the rest of my research, waiting to be finished, should I be back before the next chess. I guess that's like one of the months of the year. And we have a ring. It's the Sparks Wall! Yay! More of my sparkly electric armor. The wearer cannot be electrocuted. Gains resistance to lightning damage. I actually already have resistance to lightning damage due to my draconic bloodline, but not being electrocuted also sounds pretty good. I feel like I could make use of that utility, if you know what I mean. So we're looking pretty snazzy in our all electric stuff. So this is a modded cloak, but the sorcerer's cloak, which prevents lightning, which gives lightning damage. The jolty vest. The water sparklers. I think there are some like sparkly. I think there's like sparkly gloves too somewhere. Do I have them in my bag? We've also got the speedy light feet. No, who's got the gloves? I feel like we have sparkly gloves, right? But who has them? I don't know. Where did they go? Shadowheart, do you have them? Who's got my sparkly gloves? I need to find them. Okay, anyway, we can keep on looking. Again, if you are a bit tight on money, there's a lot of books that you can also loot. There's a lot of really decent spell scrolls here as well, like greater invisibility, all coming really useful. I would say the books that are most important to read are the ones that are left open or out on the surface. It's kind of like trying to draw your attention to them. There's also more basilisk's oil, so if you do have any more drow that are kind of turned to stone and you do want to rescue them, like just know that there's more of that here. Yeah, all this good stuff. Like Conjure Elemental is such a great spell. I love that. Oh, that's a little bit buggy. Okay, we'll just move swiftly away from that. And then this elevator, which says ascend.
Looks like some kind of magical contraption. Now, to get it to work.
So this is our way up into the rest of the tower. So we need to go back upstairs and try and get this elevator working, basically, is the current mission. Okay, so let's go and have a look up here. So this does look to be maybe...
Careful, Lae'zel. It's dark around here. Would be a
That's
terrible
curious.
shame to lose you forever.
Any response, Lae'zel? Anything to say about that? No? Okay, let's keep going.
Careful, Lae'zel. It's dark around here. Would be a terrible shame to lose you forever.
Yes, do keep your wits, Shadowheart. Should a dagger suddenly slice your neck, we may never know who's to blame.
So again, here's another book that's out. So treatise on the antimagic properties of the Susa flower teas. So they were doing research on the Susa plant, basically. Oh, and do you remember we need Susa bark? So if we find any Susa bark, we need that to make that weapon back at the Blighted Village. The antimagic properties of Susa tree flowers. I will let you read that in your own time. I don't think we need to read that necessarily. But let's take it with us. I'm just going to grab all this alchemy stuff because I think it could come in useful. See, Essence of Nightlight, we'll take it. And it is quite dark as well, so if you don't have anyone with dark vision, I do recommend kind of using the alt key to make sure that you're not missing anything. Anything over here as well? Yeah, another book, look. Okay, so this appears to be, yeah, power generator. And it needs us to insert something. And if we look on the floor, there's all these withered blue petals. So Cordia is going to have an idea. And she's going to go and grab, even despite feeling threatened by the fact that this Susa tree and the Susa flowers have this anti-magic field, which stops her using her magical abilities. I think she's also going to see the potential of that. Clearly, the wizard who was working in this tower saw potential with this magic. So we could even use this against enemies, right? We could like throw a Susa flower at them to stop them being able to use the magic. But right now I need to power this machine. Again, my neighbors are banging, guys. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I feel like this blue light is really making my eye bags stand out because they don't look that bad today without the light. Why does Cordia look so good in a blue light and I look like a potato? Riddle me this. Okay. So if we look here, we can put the Susa flower in here. It's such a cool wizard's tower. I love like the kind of steampunk vibes to it. It's really, really cool. Okay. What I'm going to do then, because we still are being affected by the Susa flower, I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in a pouch and send that to camp. And then if anyone needs to throw a Susa flower at some kind of mage at some point and stop them using magic, we can do that. But that cutscene is so cool, how the entire like tower comes back to life, you know, now that there's someone inhabiting it, like temporarily. So cool. So there's this little chest here that you don't want to miss. Gilded chest. Again, lots of magic items. We are in a wizard's tower. And this gives us detect thoughts. Now this is cool because we can put this on and actually cast it once per day. So we can keep the Amulet of Sylvanus, Lesser Restoration, for like times when we need it. We don't necessarily have to have that on all the time. And then we can just bob on like this and use Detect Thoughts. And then that lasts until a long rest, as long as we can continue to concentrate on it. So I can just do that, and then as long as I'm concentrating and I don't cast another concentration spell or get like a bonk to the head or something, like that is just going to last. And here we go, the elevator is hopefully working now, and we can go up another level. I think there's something back here as well, yeah, like a little wooden crate. Healing potions. I knew there was something important back there. Couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, you do need to get in here. Now you don't have to worry about cramming every single person in. It kind of teleports everybody, so we're just going to go on Ascend. And we've gone up a level. Now, there is another quest. So there's different ways of navigating the Underdark, and like you can kind of go around in circles a little bit, kind of chasing your tail doing different quests. So we will come across a quest at some point, without any spoilers, that will require certain ingredients from the Arcane Tower. So we're just going to make sure we pick these up now. Basically, it's Timesk Spores and the Tongue of Madness. So as long as we grab those and we don't accidentally use them in an alchemy potion, we'll be able to do that quest later along. So here's another important book. On this shelf in this kind of gardening level, this threadbare book looks like it once contained a play, but most of it has been lost to time, vermin, and an unfortunate ink spill. Only 2 full sentences are distinguishable, and we need to remember this. How can I trust? How will I ever know? How can I show myself my darkest me?
Seems like the owner was quite the literary type.
I mean, wizards, am I right? We'll take the stupid wizard hat. Let's go. The gardening hat. Okay, so like I say, we need Timesk spores, but Timesk mushrooms actually make you go crazy. And Cordia would know this. So we're just going to go ahead and, from a distance, safely get rid of those spouting Timesk. This is what we're after, the Timesk spores. Here we go. So we don't know we're after them yet, but we will be. So I think we've got everything we need from here. I'm sorry, camera angle's crazy. So we're going to go up another level. I really like this section of the game. Again, I kind of missed it. The first playthrough that I did, I didn't even realise this was here. I just entirely missed this entire area. Like the Drow, the Spectator, this, like some other stuff that's over on this end. Completely missed it. So yeah, I'm still quite excited to kind of roam around here. So now that we've powered up the tower, the kind of security system's down, because this was the window that we were peeking in before, and these have just turned off automatically now. So again, not a huge amount on this level. Through this door on the north side, yeah, the north side of the tower, there is
that chest. I can feel its magic.
A very interesting chest. It's a magical dress. So we're going to grab this scroll of mage armor and see what's inside. But it's just mundane items, so what's that about? But again, Cordia and Gale would know that this is magic. And if we drop something inside it, for example, our Amulet of Sylvanus, it turns it into a plate. So it's actually just kind of disguising things. So if I pull it back out, it's an item. So let's see what all this is. We've got a spatula, which is actually Protection of Good and Evil scroll, a mug, which is Mistress Grace Featherfall. I think I might give that to Gare. Well, to be fair, Gale actually has Misty Step, so I might actually send that over to Dirge, just in case somebody on Dirge's team needs to kind of get down from a height, in a similar way to what we did before, because we have Misty Steps. There's no point us having it. We've got another scroll of mage armor. I'll put that with that one, and a gold ingot, and a Heathlight bomb. So that is quite a fun little chest. I kind of love the idea of taking it with us, but I don't think we're strong enough to pick it up. We could technically, you know, we could take a potion of strength or something, but I don't really think it necessarily has a huge amount of practical use. So I don't know. Oh, we're saving. Why are we saving? I'm scared. When it saves automatically, I get scared because I think there's like a big baddie around. These machine parks can be used to make elixirs of lightning resistance, which could be useful for my companions, considering I have multiple sources of lightning resistance now. Yeah, if I'm intending to do a lot of lightning damage, maybe my team need to take some of those potions. There's this lever here. So now that's the front entrance open. Beautiful. And I think we need to go up another level. So let's ascend.
Seems simple enough. Can't give up now.
So this is kind of like a kind of bedroom level.
Moving ahead.
So again, really glad that I've got my dark vision from being a drow, because it'd be so hard to see in here if you didn't have dark vision.
I spy with my little eye. Nothing of note, really.
Oh, look at that though. That is so beautiful. And there's a big Susa tree, so maybe that's where we can get the Susa bark from. And here's an Aloija.
It looks so small from here.
Okay. What's in this wardrobe? Soul coins, a treaty. We've got quite a few copies of that. I am scared this is a mimic. Like every time I come over here, I think this is going to be a mimic. I don't know. Wizard's Tower is giving mimic vibes, but it's fine. It just has the mage's friend inside it. So, I don't know. You're a mage, Gale. Would you like that? What does it do, actually? Arcana and religion. I feel like maybe Shadowheart then, because she needs both of those things. There we go. There's this button, which...
Strange place for a button, especially one that doesn't work.
What could that possibly do? Look at the views. I think Gale and Cordia should retire here. When this whole thing is over, I think Gale and Cordia should come and hang out here. The whole team can. Like, everybody can like take a floor each. I don't know. What else do we have going on here? This little study area. Again, any books that are left out are going to be the main ones that you really should read. So there's this one here as well, handwritten letter. From Amaranth. Who's Amaranth? Dearest Lenore, I'm not sure I should say this, but your last letter really worried me. Why in all hells would you tame a boulette? Oh, so that's why the boulette's hanging around, because Lenore tamed it? Just because you found it near Myrna's grave doesn't mean that it's a sign. I'm really worried about you, Lenore. A boulette is not a pet. Using it as a guardian is one thing, but you sound quite taken by it. I know you don't want to come back before you finish your research, but if you are feeling lonely, you know my door is always open. Lots of love and hugs, Amaranth. Amarith. P.S. It warms my heart to hear that you put autumn crocus flowers on Myrna's grave. I remember she liked to roll around in them, even though she'd always sneeze after. She was such a soft, loyal dog. I wish there was more I could do. So this, like, so Lenore and Yer lived in, I'm going to say that name wrong every single time, the lightning guy. Lenore and Yer lived here together, and they had a dog called Myrna. And Amarith is like some friend that she's corresponding with. Okay, pick that up as well. And the roads to darkness. An epic tragedy about power, corruption, and loneliness. A lonely road. New sounds through damp and dark oppression break. It is the foe that foul contemptuous heal. Or art thou friend, a rescue from my lonely wake? Come out of love for me, not love for blood and steel. So again, this is one that we need to read and remember. Just giving you tips, guys. Okay, some stuff here. I'm going to come back over there. I just want to check these bookcases first. Gale, we're getting so many books. You're going to be able to read so many stories for Will. This thing here, torn out paper. Another poem. The silence stretches on. I'm all alone. Please, can I hold your hands for just a while? Aww. So sad that they've got all lonely. And what is this? I've never seen anything like this before. An engraved disc of Githyanki origin containing a complex cipher that can decrypt ancient Gith dialects. A useful discovery if one should encounter any archaic writings. So if we come across any Gith writing, this cipher can help us to decipher it. Cool. And this here. Some more books and stuff. Okay, we'll take them. And a book here that's been left out. Oral histories on Gith and Mind Flayers. So you can definitely feel free to pause and read that if you want to. Just a little bit more about the Gith and the ongoing kind of war between the Gith and the Mind Flayers. Like, they are from a different plane. They're from the astral plane, and they basically invade this plane of existence. The Mind Flayers to come down and control us and get power and kind of like reap and harvest things that they need, and the Gith to kind of basically fight back against the Mind Flayers. Not on our behalf, but the Gith also have another reason to come down to Earth, but we'll leave that for later.
The disc appears in your mind's eye. Lae'zel sees it too, and considers the vision.
Tirsu markings. Ancient. I recognize them, but I can't make sense of... No. Wait. The texts are enciphered, but I've solved the pattern. It's a story. About Orpheus.
Your head buzzes in concert with Lae'zel's, but it hardly matters. Even without the connection, you'd recognize her discomfort.
Look at Gale all sparkly back there. I wanted to say you look easy, but are you alright? I was intending to say who's Orpheus. I don't know if Lae'zel would appreciate being told she looks uneasy, because she's quite hard, right? She's got that hard outer shell. We'll just ask, who is Orpheus?
A traitor. A dead one. This text is heresy. I can hardly bear to read it, let alone speak it.
At the moment, I'm going to say, well, I understand. Keep it to yourself.
It is for the best.
Again, Cordia understands, Lae'zel's loyalty to Blackith. It's similar to her own loyalty to Illustory. And, you know, if Lae'zel's been surprised by this and it's something that's making her uncomfortable, I think Cordia would give her time to kind of work through that a little bit and calm down before she approached the subject again. Have you been looking at me different? Not the time to flirt, Cordia. Stop it. So yeah, we're going to grab that. We're going to definitely want to take that with us.
Such a strange disc. Are these Githyanki markings? Lae'zel might know.
Yes, we'll talk to her again in a little while. Just give her a moment to kind of calm down and get her bearings. There's another little corner over here. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. Not much there though. Right, I think we've got everything we need from here. I'm nervous. So let's have a look at these books. So we've got the torn out paper. The silence stretches on. I'm all alone. Please can I hold your hands for just a while. The road to darkness. New sounds through damp and dark oppression break. Is it the foul and contemptuous heel? And a threadbare book. How can I trust? How will I ever know? How can I show myself my darkest me? Okay. All right. We're going up. I'm scared I'm going to do this wrong. I'm going to save. Okay, let's go up. Ascend. So.
New sounds through damp and dark oppression break. Is it the foe? Her foul, contemptuous heel?
You know these words. They are from the opening stanza of a play you found in this very tower.
Okay, so the thing with Bernard, he only talks in poetry, and if you click on the wrong thing, if you do anything that's off script, you're going to get attacked. So this is why you need to read those poems. I feel like we have missed one though, guys. Or art thou friend, a rescue from my lonely wake?
Come out of love for me, not love for blood and steel. Come on as if you feel, my lord, my liege.
Don't get me wrong. I love poetry as much as the next wizard, but using it to command an automaton seems a bit self-indulgent to me.
Okay. Yeah, we have missed one, but the one that we've missed was written by a different person, so you have to be really, really careful. It actually says when you open the book, it'll say at the top that it's written by a different person. I can't remember where it was, we missed it, but if you click on that wrong one, they will attack you. So make sure that you check who it's written by, basically. How can I trust? How will I ever know? How can I show myself, my darkest me?
If you do not the deepest secret show, reveal it, give what you wish to see.
So he gives us presents. So basically, Yer has created this automaton in case Lenore comes back, because he wants to be able to like continue his love, I think, even like when he's not around. So we've got guiding light. You are my guiding light, which I think, who do I want to give that to? Who needs light? Shadowheart and Cordia have a lot of light spells. I don't know if maybe we should give it to. Do you know what? I might give it to Will, because. He's a paladin, right? So he's got like light stuff as well. I kind of like the idea of like him being able to like light up the darkness as well, because I don't know, it fits his kind of character, his storyline, and especially because I think I did make him like he's like a paladin of light, right? I think from what I remember doing when we leveled him up. Where's he gone? Bernard, I want to talk to you some more.
I need a quick word.
Command as you see fit, my lord, my liege.
I think this is really sweet, honestly. The silence stretches on. I'm all alone. Please, can I hold your hands for just a while?
Of course, my love. Don't be afraid, sweet girl. What can I do? Sorry, would you like a hug?
Yes, please.
Come here. For just a moment. Let it out.
His arms are too tight and too low for a comfortable hug, as if he's meant to be embracing someone slightly shorter.
Remember, you are loved, Lenore, so much. You're doing great. And everyone will be so proud of you. Proud of you, as I already am.
It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Oh, there's another one as well. I think it's over here. Parched parchment. These empty sheets are all that's left of you, the last of all the thoughtless gifts you gave. I will hold on to them. It's all that I can do. I cannot throw them away. I've never been that brave. The paper is torn and patched in many places as if it was well used for treasures. On it is a poem without a name. Let's grab that as well. And then we can talk to him again.
Command as you see fit, my lord, my liege.
These empty sheets are all that's left of you, the last of all the thoughtless gifts you gave.
I will hold on to them. It's all that I can do. I can't throw them away. I've never been that brave.
There we go. I think he's given us a potion of healing. I don't know why he didn't show it, but I think that's what he gives you there. It's just so sweet. I love it so much. You can fight him if you want to. Again, if you say the wrong thing, you will get into a fight with him, because it's like a password, like a security code, right? So you have to talk to him in riddles, but not that wrong one. The other one's something about clawing your way back to the light, I think. That's the wrong one. So yeah, there is some other cool stuff up here. Broken machinery. If you do want to fight him, he has this kind of cool lightning staff thing on his back, but I'm leaving him alone. I really like Bernard. I like the whole vibe, you know. Yeah, some cool stuff here. Now if we go over here, you can't talk to these ones, they just, you can't click on them or anything. If we go into this corner right near this bookcase, I failed the perception check, but hopefully someone else can see it. So it's really, really hard to spot. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to see it. Gale, can you see it? Maybe if you have, see, I can't even see it with my see invisibility. Normally see invisibility allows you to see things like this, but it's just not working. It takes. Yeah, no one can see it. So there's a lever on the wall here, which if you are able to see it and you pull it, it opens that initial thing in the basement that had Gale do his mage hand over, but it's so hidden, it's so hard to see that I just mage hand, it's just easier. Again, more scrolls, all good stuff. So you kind of feel like maybe there's not a lot up here, but there is a secret up here. So underneath this bit here, this kind of thatched roof, behind this guy, there's a very special stool, the Stool of Giant Hill Strength, which if I pull out, and we just go ahead and attack this, don't worry, like, they don't get mad at us.
Sword, but that chair leg may be a useful weapon.
There's the Club of Giant Hill Strength. Now this is a really special hidden item, because who would think to like destroy a random stool, right? But it's very cool because it increases your strength to 19. So if I show you on Cordia, if I just take off the Valor Aloof and I put this on, so watch her strength go from 12 to 19. So I think that maybe we should give this to someone who hasn't got high strength. We could give it Gale, but he doesn't really melee fight. The person I've got in mind is Will, because we made him a paladin, and paladins need strength, but he hasn't got strength. But currently, he's, he's got a two-handed weapon, and it's a really powerful weapon, so I don't really want to take that off him yet. We might give it Will in the future. So I'm thinking for now, for the time being, I might possibly give it Astarion, because Astarion or Dirge. But Dirge's strength is already decent. He's got strength of 16 already. And Astarion's strength is 8, but he does things like, he is a melee fighter, right? He goes in with his daggers and jabs and stuff. So I'm thinking, because he can like do the dual wielding thing, well, everybody can really, but because he uses that feature, I think we should send it Astarion. For now, anyway. So I'll go ahead and send that to him and we'll equip it. So again, his current stat is currently 8. So we can go ahead and we can give that in on his offhand as well. It doesn't even have to be his main weapon. Because currently he's got this thing that, it's just another spell sprinkler, basically. It's just another lightning thing. But now he's got strength of 19, which is very cool, right? And this is going to also buff, like his steel forged sword. It's going to buff everything. He's going to do more damage on everything. And do you remember I gave him this weapon, this bow? And I was like, who's going to use it? This weapon deals additional damage equal to your strength modifier. So now that he's got good strength, I can give him that, and it's going to use his strength modifier and do additional damage. Which, what is his strength modifier? How do I find that out? There you go. He's got a +5, 4 from strength and 4 from the ring of 1 from ring of protection. So he's going to get a +5 on all his weapon shots, which is amazing. So I'm really happy with that. I think we've made good choices here today. And maybe it's time for us to just go and have a quick chat with Lae'zel about that Githyanki thing. Now that she's, my tummy rumbled again. Now that she's calmed down a little bit, I think, you know, now might be a better time. We've distracted her a little bit. So if I go ahead and click on her.
Speak.
No, won't let me do it. Here we go. Ask Lae'zel about the disc from the Underdark. Lae'zel, I really think we should, if you're comfortable, I think maybe you should tell us about what the disc says.
Once again, your mind opens to Lae'zel, and she considers the disc.
More writings on Orpheus, the so-called Prince of the Comet.
Okay, if you're comfortable, I would love to hear it. Go on.
The Prince of the Comet, Part 1. So it was that we were free from Geich shackles and turned our blades on each other. The heavens were shattered, and one great empire was divided in two. Gith traveled to the Hells to broker help for her people, her cause. Vlaakith would have you believe Mother Gith proclaimed her our queen. Lies. Gith made no such proclamation. Vlaakith seized the Empire against the Mother's wishes. But Gith had nurtured a son, Orpheus, Prince of the Comet, the true heir. He knew Vlaakith's treachery. Orpheus rallied Gith's honor guard and declared the throne for himself. The War of the Comet had begun. Disregard this drivel. Gith declared Vlaakith queen of the Empire, and her own son defied her. Orpheus would have ceded control to the Geich.
So again, this is the complete opposite of what Lae'zel believes. Lae'zel believes Vlaakith is a queen. She's very, very loyal to her. She's trying to impress her. She wants to be a really good Githyanki. You know, this is absolute heresy to her. This is absolute propaganda. Like, it's the opposite of what she's been taught. Cordia, what would she say? See, she wouldn't say two. She wouldn't agree with her. Despite being a cleric and despite understanding that kind of loyalty, I don't think she would outright dismiss it as propaganda. Like, she doesn't believe in Vlaakith, right? She doesn't believe in all that stuff. To her, she's like, I don't know the answer. I kind of want to say 3, but I don't think Cordia would say that. Why are you so worked up? It's only a story. It's almost like dismissing what she's feeling, and I think Cordia has more empathy than that. So I think that leaves me with number 1, which I don't want to necessarily challenge Lae'zel. None of these options really suit her, basically, but I'm going to say, and if it's true, and if it were true, it would sound like, there we go, that's a better way of phrasing it. If it were true, it would sound like Vlaakith betrayed Gith and seized the throne. So she's not agreeing with anything, she's just the hypothesis, right? It's just hypothetically.
She did nothing of the sort. Thank your good fortunes I'm a tolerant woman, or I'd have sliced off a few toes for suggesting it.
Lae'zel, you don't need to threaten me all the time, Lae'zel. We're friends. It's okay to discuss things. You don't have to shout at me. Although I do understand your loyalty to your faith. Yeah, okay. We're gonna leave it there. I think what we probably need to do then is, look at the way she's looking at her. I think we probably need to head back to camp at this point, and I think Lae'zel would be more driven than ever to go and find the Githyanki crash. She's like, enough fooling around. What am I doing in the Underdark? I was looking for the crash. This is where I'll find a cure. This is where my people are. This is where I'll get help. So she's going to be like, I'm going back to the surface. Like, you can follow me or I'll leave and do it on my own, kind of thing. So it's like, fine, we'll all go back to camp. Tomorrow you can go back with Dirge. Astarion can come with us because he does look very drow now. And you can continue looking for the Githyanki crash. She would be more motivated than ever, I think, Lae'zel, to go and do that. Yeah, no, let's go to camp. Let's go to camp now. Do I want to go to camp now? No, I think we'll leave it there. So yeah, and she can go and like look and find out answers as well, and or even have her faith reinforced, you know, through going finding her people. I think it's time for that. So I'm going to leave it there. So yeah, in the next episode we'll have Lae'zel going looking for the Githyanki crash. And I'm gonna have Cordia and her team continue exploring this section of the Underdark. We did see a kind of body as we were kind of passing through this area, so we can go and check that out. And there's also some caves and things and a beach that we can explore around here where beach day, beach body ready in the Underdark. But yeah, like there's definitely, we can keep looking for that forge basically and the route to the Underdark. We kind of need to find all these tunnels that we've been hearing people talking about to kind of you know, discover the things that we need to discover down here. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're enjoying. I hope that you're finding it interesting. I do find the Wizard's Tower lore to be quite hard to understand what's going on. So again, it's the two people. I hope I explained it well. It's the two people. One of them was the wizard who invented all my lightning stuff. He went off to Baldur's Gate. He left behind Lenore, who was researching the Susa blossoms. She also got called to Baldur's Gate, left him a note saying, hey, wait for me here. And he says he waited and he waited and he waited and she didn't come. So he invented these the Bernard and things, so that if she did return she wouldn't feel lonely anymore. Like, it would be like he was with her. She also had a dog called Myrna, so we can go and look for the grave site, maybe put a few autumn crocus on the grave, and hopefully not get stopped by a bullet. So that is the plan for the next episode. Please join me. I love recording these so much. I love playing this game. I am so addicted to it, and like I say, I'm trying to do an honor run off camera at the moment, and it's a challenge. And again, thank you for all your support. Leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't yet already. And again, thank you for all your support, because it does mean that I've now been able to run ads on these videos, which again, I'm going to try and minimize the impact on you guys, but it's nice to think that maybe I can make an income from this. It's really exciting. Yeah, all that good stuff. So share your videos with your friends. If you think anyone might enjoy these videos, anyone might want to check out the game and see my boring over explaining perspective, like absolutely go and do that. That really helps out the channel as well. If you're here lurking, hi, thank you for watching. Really appreciate you making it this far in the video, and go and get the game yourself as well if you haven't played it yet. It's so good. It's got so much replayability value. Honestly, this is one of the best games that I've played in a very, very long time. And like, no hate to The Sims, it's a different type of game entirely, and The Sims obviously is such a huge part of my life. But for this game to kind of like sideswipe me out of nowhere and just be my entire personality for the last year, I can't rant and rave about it enough. Like, everyone who I know as well who's come and played it loves it. Like, it's so good. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Do take care of your faces. Have a good week. Look after your friends, even if they believe in weird propaganda. And yeah, I will see you again soon. Bye. Bye, friends.
I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a